Hey there, this is me building my personal finance community live in public. Okay, so how these videos are going to go $1,000 in the next 30 days. Now, I don't know if that sounds too good to be true or not, but I have some thoughts around that. But first, let's go to the YouTube comments, go to community, and womp womp, we have no comments. That's okay. We are new to this entire process here of me doing this. So, what I think is going to be very cool when it happens is I'm just going to be overwhelmed eventually with comments and questions and thoughts and stuff like that. Because instantly in the live stream, I just want to be able to give you guys some value. And then we're going to kind of continue on with the thoughts here. So, community activity. I made a post today in the community um, asking if anyone would be interested in doing a monthly sprint to save $1,000. Because what I've been noticing in here is like some of the stuff that I say, it's like, okay, yeah, great, great, great. But how do I find more money? How do I save more money? How do I, save more money or pay off debt or whatever? It's like, how do I do the thing? Like, how do I do it faster than like the last time? And that's what I said. Like, I keep noticing that everyone wants to save their next $1,000 faster than the last, right? And obviously, who wouldn't want to do that? So, what I'm kind of proposing in this community is I'm going to be doing a 1K challenge inside the community, and I talk about some things here of how I think I can help people, etc. And um, I'm planning on doing this in September, so I don't know when you're watching this. It's going to be in a couple weeks, and I think the first time I do this, it's going to be with a very small group of people that are interested, and it's going to be free because I just want to know, like, hey, how did you think that the program worked? And then after that, I'm going to make it a paid event where it's going to be like kind of a group coaching sort of situation where um, whoever's in it would join with the rest of the members plus me, and we'd all kind of have like this big round table and talk through things and try and figure out how everyone can get to that $1,000 mark in 30 days. Um, and again, if it sounds pretty intense, it is. It is, but it's definitely doable. Okay. So yeah, the thoughts on my mind are this today. So that's basically what we're only going to talk about this, how to save $1,000 in the next 30 days. And I do have some thoughts here, and we're going to use my friend Excalidraw here to help me figure this out. So in this 1K savings challenge, I have some things that I would like to kind of talk through. North Star goals. We're going to go through all these. Okay. North Star goals, 3-month look back, creating more value at work, easy to start side hustles and sell some stuff. Okay. So I have experience in doing all of these things, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. So first things first, let's get the drawer out because we need to draw some North Star goals over here. So what North Star goals are is writing down a list of things that matter to you the most. These could be financial things, these could be life things. It doesn't really matter. Everyone's list is going to be different, which is why the list is so awesome because it's going to be very unique. So, what I want you to do is first just write down all your things in here. So, we're going to we're going to do 1, 2, 3, right? And you go all the way down the list, et cetera, all the way down here. That's way too big. And you just start writing stuff. You don't have to order them yet in terms of like, hey, what's most important? We'll eventually do that, but just order things. It could be, again, yeah, I want to pay off my credit card debt. I want to save $1,000. I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to, gain whatever muscle. I don't know. I want to run a 10K, right? What are the things in your life that are like very, very important to you, or like things that are sort of, think of it also as like a non-negotiable. Like these are your things where it's like, I'm not sacrificing this at all. So for me, I have a wife and 2 kids, so then stuff around them would definitely be on the list. My health and fitness would absolutely be on the list. I guess at the moment it's making enough money to like help support the family, which unfortunately means I have to stay at the 9 to 5, which I don't really want to do. I want to be able to remove from that and start doing my own thing. And then also just, I guess this. And a recent non-negotiable has been me doing these daily videos, this, community building in public. Because one, I think daily habits just stack so much and they compound so quickly. Like think about it in a money stance. Like what if you saved, I I don't know, you saved a certain amount of money every single day, like you would just have, it would just like be so beneficial to you as like as a habit stacking skill that you have, just starting something and doing it every day. So stuff like that. That's what would be on my list. Okay. And then after you're done with that, absolutely kind of reorder it in terms of like, hey, what's the most important? And then you eventually have this list of like, again, it's 1 to whatever, 20 things, 10 things, 5 things, it doesn't matter. And these are the most important things to you. Now, what we want to do is we want to do something called the 3-month look back. Okay. So basically, what happens here is we go back 3 months, obviously, to, let's see if I can just like draw something here, to the last 3 months. So for me, I'm doing this video in August. So we would want to look at July. We'd want to look at June. And we'd want to look at May. All right. This thing needs to get out of here. Boom, boom, boom. Are the visuals helping, guys, at all? Are the visuals helping? I kind of found this tool and I just thought maybe it would be helpful visually instead of just watching me and listening to me blabber. There's something on the screen for you to kind of look at. So what we want to do here is we want to focus mostly on variable. I can never make one of those things, those little squiggly line things. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting very distracted here. Variable expenses. And why variable? Because these are the things that change month over month. So think groceries, gas, utilities, right? Things are things that we buy every month, we need every month, but the cost fluctuates. You could do this with your fixed as well. You could. It's not a bad exercise to do. However, these are things that we know are happening every month, right? So we know that our mortgage or rent are the same cost every month. We know that certain subscriptions are going to be the same every month. So it's not a bad idea to first like look at this, but the whole point of the 3-month look back is to get an average of all of our expenses in these variable categories here and get an average. This thing is very annoying. Get the clicker. Is there a way to like move this over? No. Okay. I'm going to keep struggling with this here. Get the average of the 3 months. So let's say like in, let's say for, I don't know, groceries, right? We have that over here. We'll put that over here. And then we have, I'm just going to write these here. We have like $500, we have $600, and we have $700, right? So obviously the average of these three would be $600. And then we look at all of our variable expenses and we're like, okay, are all of these things that we're spending money on aligned all the way over here to these, the North Star goals? Are they aligned to it? So it's like, okay, the list of 10 things that we have, groceries, okay, we have to eat. We can't really do much about that. But some other stuff on there, you might be like, ooh, wow, I can't believe I'm spending that much money in that category. Or it could be the other way around where it's like, man, my number 2 thing is my fitness and my health. And, I'm only spending $30 a month for a gym membership, yet I'm telling myself it's the second most important thing in my list, right? So then you can give yourself permission to spend more money on the thing, because I think a lot of people think budgeting means that we have to cut, and that's just not the case. Now, maybe in some crazy savings challenge, like it might not hurt to like try to cut to try and get you your goal of $1,000, but this idea that I'm having here isn't very like sustainable, like at all, in terms of like a long-term growth hack. If you feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck, like doing this extreme challenge every 30 days, it's not going to be good for your mental health or your whatever health. I mean, it's just going to be very challenging. It's hard to live like that. I would much rather you take the slower approach to guarantee success than try to like boom bust your way through. It's like the seesaw effect where it's like for a couple months you go super hard on like you're cutting, you're trying to save money, you're trying to pay off debt, but then in month 3 or 4 you fall off because it's just like a completely unsustainable lifestyle. You're like, I don't know, starving. I don't know, like it's super intense, right? So I'd much rather have it take a little longer, but you absolutely like see progress every single month. Okay. Um, all right, we got to add some drawings over on this side. So does that kind of make sense, guys? If you have any questions, you know where to put them. Drop it underneath this video or any other video on YouTube, because right now, guys, look at this. It is empty, and even YouTube is trolling me. No comments found. Try searching for something else or removing filters. And they got this little thing here looking at with all the eyes. I mean, come on, it's absolutely trolling the channel right now. We gotta pick it up here, okay? So the next thing that I want to talk about is creating more value at work. And oh, that's just an arrow feature. And I've done this in a couple ways. I basically have had mid-decade crises every decade, the last couple decades. So when I was 25, I had like a career midlife mid-decade crisis. Into my mid 30s, I guess it was just about when I was almost 35, I had another career crisis. That's when I did a complete pivot shift to do what I'm doing now. But at 25, I basically was in a job that I'm too comfortable in, and it was not an accounting job. I went to school for accounting, just to be very clear. I've been a corporate accountant for over a decade now, and I was just very, very, very comfy, very comfortable, and I hated that. I hated that with a passion, and I panicked because I was like, "What? What was the point of me going to school and doing all this stuff if I'm just gonna like loaf around and just like go through the motions?" Like it was in my mid 20s. I'm like, I'm already going through the motions like in life. That's crazy. So what I ended up doing was I made it a non-negotiable that I was going to not only pursue a job in my career, but just um, make it feel like more challenging. And by that, I meant I was going to, so I live very close to a very large, not very close, I live far from a very large city in the United States. I'm in Connecticut. So I was looking for jobs in New York City. And that to me felt super scary because I basically have only ever like drove to work, like under 30 minutes. And now I'd have to take a train to Grand Central Station and whatever. And it was like, but I was like, I have to go all in on this thing, or else I think my life is like a complete failure. Like that's where I was at right now. So I basically quit the comfy job. I went to the challenging job, and let's circle that. Yay for challenging, right? And it was probably the best thing that I've ever done in my entire life, to be very honest with you. I was there for 3 years. I commuted daily, door to door, 2 hours one way for almost 3 years. And it was because I didn't feel fulfilled, to be quite honest with you. So this is just kind of the beginning of the story. And then after this moment of feeling comfy, I was basically like, no more am I going to just sit around and just like wait for opportunities or for income or anything like that. Like I have to really grab this by the horn. And when I went into this job, it was a proper accounting job. And my manager was doing a great job of like giving me new things, teaching me. There was a career path there. The only reason why I left was because of the the commute burnout. Like it was rough times. It was actually like impacting my wife and I's like relationship because I was like basically never home. And then when I went home, it was like I did a workout, and it was like putting a lot of strain, unnecessary strain. So I got a new job, but after that, it was like, how can I create value? So here's what I did. Basically, after I went to that challenging job, and my boss basically created, I've never seen this before, but I'm sure a lot of people do this, come to find out, but she basically wrote out a plan for me of like my next 2 like job promotions, which was insane. I had never seen that. Like my other job never did that. Again, it was like a comfy job. They just want people to stay as comfortable as possible. But this, she's like, hey, you start here. We're starting you as a junior accountant. Here's what you need to do to become a staff accountant. And then here's what you need to do to become a senior accountant. And she had listed it out, and she's like, realistically, it should take you this amount of time to become a staff accountant, unless you like really hustle, and then this amount of time, most likely, for a senior accountant. And she had some experience in the industry, so she's like, this is pretty standard, pretty average. So I took her word up for it, and I worked really hard to build that up. And it was like, so basically, I was taking on extra projects. I was learning new things. I was trying to figure out, and this is very important. I was trying to figure out how I made the company money, and I needed to tie myself and my job to how the company made money and what the company did. And yeah, this was just very important for me. So now every time after that, during the job interview, I always ask, and it's kind of easy to tell when you ask like, "Hey, are there growth opportunities?" Because of course they're going to be like, "Oh, of course." So then you have to ask more challenging questions, right? It's like, okay, well, um, who was the kind of the last, like, how has the growth happened on this team? And if there hasn't been any growth on this team, like, what about inside the company? Like, who's been kind of moving up? And you kind of ask like some deeper questions, some bigger questions, because at the end of the day, you just kind of want to know, like, am I going to a place that is going to help me grow here? Right. So right now we're talking about creating more value at work. Bam. And so that's kind of what I do. And then, it comes to a point where maybe they promise you something in the job interview, and you kind of have it like you haven't seen the growth that they've been promising or anything like that. So you go to them like, hey, what's been going on? Or if no one's ever promised this to you before and you're like, hey, I've been here for a while, like what's going on? I would find out from your boss or whatever, like, is there a growth opportunity for me in this company? And basically, if they say no, then you know that that's not the place for you. And if they say yes, you need to like actually have them map it out for you. Okay. There's a lot more kind of involved here. I am not like a career expert at all. This is just kind of my personal experience. When I first started um, working, I was making under $40,000. And now I'm making six figures at the job that I have currently. And so that's just kind of the growth that I've seen, and kind of the things that I've done to try to make sure that like I do me, right. I'm not waiting around for the 2-3% annual raise. Like, I found that moving companies has given me the greatest increase of income, instead of like waiting around for either a promotion that was promised or just like the regular annual 2 to 3% raise. Okay. The next one is easy to start side hustles. And for this, we got to do a check mark. Easy to start. So yeah, this is a live stream on my channel right now, and I do a lot of just kind of fun challenge stuff on my regular. Yeah, this is my like studio, just to show you like whatever. So I've done like a dollar store challenge. I've done an Uber Eats challenge, things like that. I have some other stuff coming down the pipeline for sure. Um, but for me, like the easiest side hustles are something that you don't need any skills for. And I found that just to make a few extra dollars doing the Uber Eats challenge. So I ended up working for 20 hours. I did it in like a 10-day span. So I did it over 7 days, but it was over like a 10. I didn't do 7 consecutive days, but over 20 hours, I made $250. So if you do the math on that, it's 12.50 an hour, which is, approaching minimum wage territory. So it's not amazing, but like if you have, I don't know, time at night, time in the weekends, or if you're like in between, I don't know, I know some people work two jobs or whatever, but if you're in between the second job, if you have some time, it's a really great way to kind of do it. It took maybe 24 hours of 48 hours to kind of set up the account. Like, they need your license and your um, insurance, like car insurance and stuff. They just want to make sure you're not going to, like, I don't know, kill anyone or anything like that. And you just kind of start, and it's a very easy interface as long as you can follow instructions. It's like this big flashing thing comes on the screen like, hey, do you want to accept this order? And you kind of quickly look at it. Then you click it. It tells you what restaurant to go to. And then it says like, oh, okay, hey, here you're picking up for Sally. And here's Sally's order. Just check to make sure that everything's in it. You check to make sure everything's in it. You say, yep, received. And then it gives you Sally's address. in the GPS. So it's all the GPS. You don't have to type anything in. You go to Sally's house, and Sally will either say, drop it at the door, or meet me at the door, or whatever. And it's like, you do the thing, drop it at the door, you take a picture, and then you say, yep, I delivered it to Sally. And then in about 20 minutes, you get the money from the order. And you just have to keep doing that over and over and over again. There's not a lot of skill involved. It's just a very quick and easy way to do that. So you kind of get the point of that. But some other things that people do, depending on how like technological you are, there's this app, or there's this website called Upwork, and it's basically like freelancing stuff. There's a lot of like computer actions on it. So like, Excel or marketing or whatever. There's so many things that people need help on. So if you have any sort of skills that would kind of correlate to the technological world at all, I've been dabbling with it a little bit too, and I'm hoping to kind of. It's only been a few days. I'm just trying to see what kind of things people need on there for like personal finance stuff, or like creating dashboards or tracking things like that. Just kind of see what they need, and then maybe so I'll try to give you guys an update on that, and then sell some stuff. Got to sell some stuff. I have another one, a main YouTube video coming out soon where basically my wife and I went to a wedding recently, and the whole month leading up to it, I was trying to sell as many things as possible around the house to hopefully get a free weekend. And what that meant was the lodging for the one night was $300. And for people that we really, really care about, we give them a $400 check for the wedding. And this was someone that we really, really cared about. So that's what we ended up doing. So I had to find, I was hoping to find $700 or more around the house. And you'll have to see the video to see how it turned out. But like, it's pretty surprising what you can do on eBay, or finding a local place that will buy some stuff that you have and just making some phone calls. It's kind of surprising to see what you can do. All right. Well, that's kind of the list, guys, for the night. So again, what do we, let's see here. We probably have like 10 comments right now, right? No comments. Look, it's still trolling us, guys. We got to do something about this. We got to get some comments going on this channel. I really want to provide so much value to you. And that's the first thing I want to do every one of these videos. I'm doing this every single day. So you might as well just get your questions in. I'm just going to keep harassing you with these videos. So get them in. Let's get started. I'm building Dollar Discipline University in public. So if you're interested in the community, it's a completely free community to join. I am trying so hard to balance the idea of someone could join this community, join for free, not give me one dime at all, not even a penny, and be able to reach their financial goals just by following kind of the stuff that I share. Like inside the classroom, there's one video. I try to make it as simple as possible. Like, hey, watch this 39-minute video if you're trying to save more money or pay off debt. Okay, 39 minutes. And then I'm also adding a bunch of accountability things in here. So like tomorrow night, for example, we have this call. It's a Finances Friday call. And basically what this is, think about it like study hall for adults, where anyone from the community can join. And you can turn off your camera or your mic or whatever, and you just sort of work on something. You block a time off and you work on something with, I don't know, your budgeting, your finances, trying to take like the 10,000 foot view level of your finances. Like, hey, what's the game plan here? Or it could just be anything else if you have other things to do. But it's basically just, we put off too many things, especially in our finances. I've been noticing that like people just make it like a last resort thing. It's like, oh crap. So having something on the calendar, I think, is super helpful. But yeah, I'm really trying hard to make as much free value as possible in here, so that someone that doesn't want to pay anything, they could just still win. And then obviously there's some opportunities to work with me, and that hopefully would kind of speed up your process to kind of get to whatever goals that you have. And I, of course, make no promises or anything like that, but it's just really fun to see all the people in here. And speaking of daily accountability, there's a member in here, Jacob, who's been doing this like quote of the day. And apparently he says he's going to do it for 365 days. So he's on day 7. So Jacob, we'll see how you do with that. So yeah, join Dollar Discipline University. It's down in the description of this video. And guys, I will see you tomorrow. Add those comments, please.